welcome to another
Hello.
Off the List session. And thank you to Etienne for agreeing to talk today with us. Etienne works for a company called Parametric Design, along with the other Etienne. These are Etiennes, by the way. You've seen them around. Very excited about today because does anybody know the meaning of parametric? Great. Neither. So that's what we're here to find out today. But Etienne is going to be talking a bit about how they design and model spaces from scratch and existing, on how to make them more sustainable, eco-friendly, in a creative way, and cost-effective. It's amazing. We all need that in our lives. So thanks, Etienne. Over to you.
Thanks. How's it, guys? I haven't done public speaking in a while, so I'm a bit nervous. I work for a company called Parametric. So pretty much our mission is to just make buildings more sustainable, comfortable, and cost-effective. And we do that using a parametric approach. So what we do is pretty much three things. So we'll create a 3D model of a building, and then we'll look at the different construction details. We'll look at the occupation of the building, so how many people are in the building at a certain time. We look at the building orientation and surroundings, so like what trees and other buildings are around it. Do they throw shade? And then we also look at local climate data. We use different sustainability measures, so we'll have solar panels or heat pumps. We also have phase-changing materials that you put into your walls. And then we also have natural techniques like earth tubes that blow cold air or hot air, depending on the season, underground into the building. And then we'll do that and we'll simulate up to about 100,000 different designs for a building. And that causes us to have a technical description of the sustainability measures, technical performance specifications for the installation, as well as detailed calculations on the energy profile of the building. So these are some of the materials or some of the methods we can use. These little blocks at the bottom is pretty much just showing you for roof insulation, there's two different things you could have. For facades, there's two different things. For floor insulation too. And these all multiply and kind of grow with each other. So 2 times 2 is 4, times 2 is 8. So you can imagine if you add all of these little blocks, you get a lot of different designs that you could actually end up with. So what we do is we determine the most effective way to achieve sustainability in a building by comparing the performance of about 100,000 different designs. We can have immediate insight into the impact of the sustainability and the comfort measures of the building. So this parallel graph down here, pretty much showing you all of the different specifications over here and how they multiply. So let me just grab the next one. So how it works is we pretty much reverse engineer the building process. So if you say you would like, let's say, no days per year you want the temperature in the building to go above 30 degrees Celsius, you immediately remove all of those other different designs. Then for this building, this was a glass
car
museum.
Car museum at a wine farm.
So obviously, if you look at the glazing on the windows, a dark tint wouldn't work, so we need clear glazing on our design.
And for reference, the dark tint wouldn't, so thermally and energy-wise it would work quite well, but it's a car museum that people are supposed to walk past and see the cars on the inside, so the client wanted specifically a light tinted glass, which then means that you have to make up for the heat gain in other ways.
So by selecting the clear design, you immediately cut out, oops, sorry. No options. No days too hot. You immediately cut out a bunch of different designs, and you're left with all of these. And the pricing over here on the left-hand side So then we can take this and kind of go up to where the cheapest one is. And then that's kind of the design specifications you'll go with. You'll go with the 0.06 millimeter roof insulation, clear glazing. You'll have small PCM. You'll have earth tubes, and then what's quite nice is you can show people that just by adding a little bit of money, you get more and more design options. So it's quite nice that you can compare. You can say, okay, for X amount of investment costs extra, we can give you more of what you would like in your building.
Quick question. Did you guys develop that app?
No.
No, it doesn't exist.
It's a whole bunch of different tools that have been lined up into it.
All right. So most of the time when you want to go build a building, you've got sustainability guidelines that you need to comply with. The ones in South Africa aren't very strict, so you can get away with almost anything. And then traditional sustainability advisors will look at certain aspects but not look at the kind of whole picture of how things work. So they'll say, okay, cool, let's put solar panels in, not knowing solar panels plus this is actually a much better option. So what's the advantages of how we do it is we factor in the surroundings of the building, so other trees and stuff like that. We have an exact impact study of sustainability measures each day of the year, and we take synergies into account, and there's a broad spectrum of sustainability measures in the scope. And then Etienne, are you going to show them the case studies? You worked a lot closer on this than I did.
I have to walk a little bit closer. So I don't recognize that one. Cool. Dynamic performance modeling. I don't recognize this project. Yeah, so the project at the top is at Haasendal Wine Farm outside of Stellenbosch. They built, the one on the left is like a glass box function venue. It's fully glazed, and it's to be used for weddings and functions with a whole bunch of people attending, and also dressed quite smartly. As a bit of background, a friend of ours works in the wedding industry, and he said they also have a glass box that they use for weddings, and it gets so hot during the day that they have to cover it with very thick black material so that people can actually work in it and do the setup. Then it's a big reveal during the ceremony, like, here is your beautiful glass box, and he says 2 hours later it's so cold you almost also can't be in there. Yeah, so it's quite a challenge to work with fully glazed buildings and to make it comfortable for people throughout the day. They also, so from the client side, they also said, okay, but it's like there are a lot of high trees around it, it should be well shaded. It does a lot less than you would think it does. So it's gone. So in the end for that project, you won't see it on the photos, but it's got automated windows that automatically open and close the roof apex windows depending on wind conditions. The floor surface is being cooled and heated for a tiny little bit of the year, heated for the rest of the year it's being cooled. We got approached for the project because the mechanical engineer working on it, who was supposed to do the air conditioning, because the cooling load would be so high, the temperature of the air that you blow into the space would be so low that it would actually cause discomfort for the people like at the air vents. So you shift some of the cooling load to the floor slab. The floor slab provides base cooling, and then along the side of the building there are air grills that at low velocity introduce air at a higher temperature, so that you don't feel that blast. We also specified internal shading devices on the inside of the glass canopy that is quite reflective to reflect some of the sunlight out. The client built it, looked at it, and was like, take it out. I do think they actually did put it back in again eventually. Haven't been there in a while.
Car museum?
This one I know nothing about. I didn't work on the project. It's also in Haasendal. Car museum, yeah, this is the car museum at Haasendal. So it's got earth tube cooling coming through the floor. It's a circulation space, so people go in, look at the cars, leave again. They're not spending a lot of time there. It doesn't need to be 25 degrees. You can have a higher comfort threshold or comfort range there. But it's got earth tubes pulling fresh air from about 20 meters away from the building, circulating it underground and then blowing in through the floor. This is Green School South Africa. I don't know if anybody knows the project. Yeah, so we worked on that. Yeah, we worked on that. It was a lovely project. The client is absolutely amazing. She was very willing to take risks, because it's like a lot of the things that they did, like with their wall materials, their floor materials, it was very experimental, and they were very open to taking risks. For this, also nice big windows in Paarl, big, like, hot climate. They wanted to have a strong connection to the outside, so large openings. For that, we have also floor heating and cooling, and then coupled with ceiling fans to kind of extend the. Ceiling fans are amazing. They extend the temperature at which you would be comfortable at quite dramatically. Yeah.
And
I don't know what else to.
There's just something else that we do. It's the big wooden building in the Netherlands.
Yeah. At the moment, most of our projects are in the Netherlands. This is also kind of like a shared office space building. It's an old wood factory that they're converting into shared office space. I think it's shared office space, I'm not sure now. But in this project, they add phase-changing panels to the floors and the ceilings. And what it does, it's basically like those ice packs that you put in a cooler box. Put them in the freezer, put them in the cooler box. So they're big flat panels like that, filled with a salt water solution. And instead of freezing at 0 degrees, they freeze at about 23 degrees. Well, they can set the temperature between like 18 and 26. So when the temperature is low, the panels freeze, they become solid. And then as they heat up, they absorb a whole bunch of energy before they become warmer again. So they'll stay at 23, and as they heat up, they'll stay at 23, and then only will their temperature go up. And you put it in the floors and ceilings to kind of then use your low nighttime temperatures to flush the building with cold air, freeze the panels, and then during the day, yeah, it stays comfortable for longer. That's it.
Yeah.
Thank you. I don't know if anybody has any questions or.
Here's the contact slide.
Does anybody have any questions? Wow.
A lot.
Yeah. A lot. Take me to these places.
Yeah.
Did you guys work in Dordrecht by any chance? In the Netherlands?
Dordrecht?
There's where that was the town where I live.
Yeah.
It's called the Leerpark. It's like this learning, like there's some universities, but they also, I think your first slide, like those houses are typically like built there. It's all like sustainable.
So
I don't know, like.
I didn't personally work on that project, but the guy who started the company with me, he's Dutch,
Okay.
and he's back in the Netherlands now. Yeah.
Does it look like, I was like, that first slide looked like literally what's been built there, but it's like just a little like there's that round, like I was like, what that looks like.
That was a beautiful building.
Yeah, but I was just, but you guys working in Holland? Are you guys based there?
So we're kind of split between South Africa and the Netherlands, and at the moment, yeah, majority of our projects is in the Netherlands, or in the Netherlands. Yeah.
So you were part of the Green School development, right?
Yeah.
It was your design and architecture. Your project.
So we don't do architectural design. We would typically be appointed either by the architect or the client, and then we do our calculations and we feed information to the architect to influence the design.
Okay.
Just also out of interest sake for Green School, I don't know if you guys know the towers in Singapore, those garden at the bay,
The ship at the top.
those towers, the parks in Singapore that are the towers. They were designed by a structural engineer who also did stage design for Pink Floyd. And the client went to Singapore with her family and she saw the towers and she thought like, oh, they're beautiful. I want that guy to build my school. So initially he was appointed to the project as the lead architect. And he made a design with, what do you call them? Like the membranes that kind of tower into the air. But then they were told like the Paarl municipality would never ever ever go for something like that in the winelands. So they swapped architects and got something that is more like fitting to the context.
Interesting.
Do you usually get involved at the birth of a project, or is it common for you to be called for a building that's already there but people are just concerned about more sustainability?
It depends. Ideally, we'd come in as early as possible, but we also now work on. I'm going to digress again with background. But so in the Netherlands, so short answer, we also get appointed for a lot of renovation projects, like people buying a house, renovating it, and then just wanting to know, like, okay, glazing and envelope specifications. At the Netherlands, in the Netherlands at the moment, because of the Ukraine war, they wanted to get off gas for heating and move to heat pumps. So they're trying to reduce their heating energy they need in winter. And they've made a whole bunch of new building regulations to support that. What they sit with is super insulated houses. So in summer, as soon as there is a heat wave, the houses heat up for like maybe a week, a year, but it's almost unbearable to be in there. So a lot of the consulting work we do in the Netherlands is actually about keeping your houses cool. Like keeping it hot in winter, easy. But preventing it from overheating in summer is now an issue. Yeah, but yes, we do come in sometimes later in projects. Yeah.
In the Earth Tubes to me, one of the coolest things, did you guys come up with the idea? Is it, it exists?
Is it Earth Tube? Yeah.
So you use how does it work? At about 1 meter soil depth, the temperature is more or less the average monthly temperature, and about 3 meters deep, it's your average annual temperature. So in places like Cape Town, where you have a big day-night temperature swing, if you go a meter down, you can cool the air quite a lot. So it's basically a vent, something standing in your garden, sucking in air, and then it circulates through a network of pipes, and it cools the air down naturally, and you blow it into your house. We haven't done many of those because they're difficult to install. You have to get like the plumber, because we don't do installation ourselves. So you have to get the plumber and the aircon guy and everybody to kind of work together, and it's fairly novel, so people kick back against it. But we have done it, and where we've done it, it works well.
When you do install them, do you do 2 layers? So you do one that's like the average day temperature, and then one that's also the average year temperature, and use both of them interchangeably, or do you just decide whether you do it?
We typically go for as deep as possible when we do earth tubes, if I understood your question correctly. Yeah, the deeper the better, because if you use it in winter, which we wouldn't really do in South Africa, but if you, the temperature would just be lower if you go deeper. Unless you go like 80 meters deep, and then then it's hot again.
Are you guys going to be in the green room for a while?
Yeah.
Last day.
Last day?
Yeah, I'm going to be here until about August at a minimum.
Okay.
Yeah.
Where do you guys live? Tell us about where you live.
Yeah, that's the question.
Serious question?
I mean, I think it's
Like, he lives in Cape Town.
Yeah.
I'm between Humansdorp and Karedo on a farm with my parents. I've just relocated from Australia. My partner's still on that side. I'm in South Africa for the time being.
on a farm.
On a farm with no electricity, but that's...
All lights.
Speaking of
Well, we have electricity on the farm, just not
Not
in
where we're staying.
where we're staying.
energy consumption.
Yeah, but there's... yeah. I miss electricity in the house.
I think we'll leave it there then. Etienne, as you mentioned, will be around till around August. Other Etienne.
Gone.
But we'll be back.
I'll be
But
back.
Thanks guys for taking the time. Really appreciate it.
Cool, thank you.